Hey, scrappy people. Traci Reed here today, coming at you with a layout for the TRD Mix It Up Monday blog post. And today we are combining the Fierce collection with the Keep Chasing Rainbows collection. And these two collections are sort of made to go together. The Fierce collection is like a brighter, bolder version of the Keep Chasing Rainbows collection. And I have these photos of my middle son, and I'm going to create a accordion pull sort of thing going on here. And then I'm also going to, or I've also created a background in Photoshop before I started, just like I did yesterday for the Fierce blog hop. So these two are going to go together. These are going to layer up here, and you're going to be able to pull and flip them up. So let's get started. Okie dokie. Other than a slight mishap with this accordion fold where I knew I had done it wrong, but I had to figure out what was wrong. An unfortunate clumsy drop. You'll see. This layout turned out really well, really quickly. So I am creating this, it's not an accordion fold, it's a waterfall pull for this set of photos. And I made the first fold line at the size of my photo, which was 2.5 by 3.75, and then each of the other ones at 1 inch, or no, a half an inch above. And this is where I went wrong. I adhered down this bottom photo fully before I had put down the pull mechanism. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. But for these other two, all you have to do is put some adhesive at the folds, not on the whole paper, just on the folds at the top. So those 2 half-inch score lines. And then for this one, you're supposed to adhere this last photo after you have created the pull mechanism, but I forgot to do that part. So while it's working, once I put it down on the paper, it's not going to work correctly. So I'm going to put some backings on this, on the back sides of these photos, and I want to use this red heart paper, but all I had left of that scrap was, it was sideways, so I had to cut into my other pattern card. That is why I include both the vertical and horizontal versions of these patterns on my pattern cards, so that you will always have the right orientation in these smaller print sizes. And then for this one, I want to use the bottom, or it's actually the side of this card, but I'm going to use it as the bottom so that the rainbows are coming up out of the photo. Initially, I thought that this is where I was going to add my journaling, but then I remembered that the waterfall pull would really pull out and reveal quite a bit of card at the bottom. So I decided that that would be where I would put my journaling, so we will put something else here instead. So I'm just going to trim this up, make sure that it is the right size. I trimmed it just a little bit too long. And then I'm going to start putting this waterfall pull down so that I know that everything functions right, and this is when I find out that it doesn't. And here is my big catastrophic, oh no. Since I printed these papers at home and not through Office Depot, they are highly sticky, and so I had to reprint everything because that is how I roll. And so this is when I'm going to start putting this together and realize that it is wrong. So I'm going to use my scoreboard, and I'm going to add score lines so that the width is 3.75. Of course, I do 4, thinking that it would need a little wiggle room, and it is too big. So make sure that you do the actual size of your waterfall pull width. So I'm going to adhere this to the background, which when I end up having to pull this up because it was wrong, I'm just going to put it right back down where it was, so it's no big deal that it sticks a little bit to the waterfall pull. And you can see, okay, this is not working right. It's too loose. What is happening here? Why is it coming out so easily? And then, so I turn off the camera and figure out what I had done wrong, which was to not adhere it to that bottom photo. So I take the bottom photo off, and I'm going to pull this apart so that I can put it back together right. So sticky. That's why I love printing through Office Depot. Everything is laser printed, so there's a little bit of a sheen on it, so it's easier to get off. That's okay though. The convenience of printing at home cannot be beat, and I wasn't going to send this stuff through Office Depot in the middle of the night because I was printing in the, not in the middle of the night, but you know, at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so now we're going to take these flaps and we're going to turn it around so that these are attached underneath the photo. And I should have just stuck in the back while I was doing that, but I wasn't thinking clearly because I was like, is this right? This is right, right, right. This is right. I think this is right. So I'm just going to tuck this in the back here because now what's going to happen is it's going to pull through the waterfall pull but still be attached to the background or to the back photo so that it doesn't slip and slide around and that back photo gets enough purchase to stay where it needs to stay. So I've got that through, and now I only want to apply the adhesive to the strap, to the belly band, not to the rest of it, and it's going to solely rely on the purchase of that belly band. Okay, so now I've got a selection of both Keep Chasing Rainbows and Fierce stickers here that I'm going to decorate these photos with. And I'm using this circular journal spot from Fierce, and also the peace sign is from Fierce, but this little arrow is from Keep Chasing Rainbows. So I do that throughout, and I combine both collections pretty handily throughout this whole spread because really they're meant to go together, so it's not hard. I love the idea of the future is bright and you shine being together. The green one says, I cherish you, and the other one says, more than words can say. So I'm going to pair those two together. The frame and this yellow bit are also from Keep Chasing Rainbows. So I went heavy on the Keep Chasing Rainbows on this photo, but I really liked the way that that frame sort of framed in that photo. The photo isn't great. It's blurry. His friend took these photos. They like to go out and take pictures. I love it because I get the pictures. But it was a bit blurry because they were literally taking these pictures in the dark. It was after sunset when they were doing this. So a lot of these photos had been lightened up. So they're not the highest quality. So even though I love the photos, I wanted to keep them small just to make sure that the quality didn't detract. This banner is from Fierce. This is from Keep Chasing Rainbows. So you can see these combined really easily. So if you have Keep Chasing Rainbows and you just picked up Fierce, this is a great tip for you to combine these two together. If you don't have either, then you can see how well they go together. All right, so the last thing that I need to do is decorate this flap because the white cardstock was just boring. So I'm going to take this grid paper from Fierce, it's one of the pattern cards, and I'm going to put it there. And then I'm just going to add in, I looked through some of these, but the only one that I wanted to use for this page specifically was I love you, because obviously Fierce is very LGBTQ themed, and I wasn't going to focus on that for this page, but I do love that I love you, and I love that it pulls out and it is right underneath him. I'm going to cut down 2 of these journaling strips from the journal card. I'm going to do green and yellow because green's his favorite color and yellow will match the spread really well. And I'm going to put them just staggered underneath the I love you. And I will use those for journaling spots. And I'll figure out something else for that top one. I might just leave it blank. It's okay if it's a little blank. Then I'm going to test out the accordion fold and make sure that these additional layers don't get stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this belly band up a little bit so that it pulls away from the accordion fold so that it leaves a little bit of extra room so that these stickers slide in and out easily. It does require me to off camera really get in there and do this so that it stays that way, but you can see how cute that is. I'm going to add his date, or the date and his age on this front one before I add in anything else. And then I'm going to call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I am adding sequins, but if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci Emery. I'd love to see you over there as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Oh, don't forget, there is a blog post linked in the description box below for more Mix It Up Monday posts. All right, bye.